This video is brought to you by catbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
On this episode of Off the Script, number 184, part number 1, for your McGregor and Mayweather weekend, August 25th, 2017! I got news on WWE banning the beach ball. Yes, it's happening. WWE is banning beach balls from all future WWE events. Also, rumors going around about WrestleMania 34 following SummerSlam. What is Vince McMahon's now proposed main event for WrestleMania 34? Also, Akira Tozawa's short title reign. Why? I got the answers this weekend right here on Off the Script. Reason for the empty seats at SummerSlam's kickoff show and how the MIZ felt about it, and what WWE is planning to do with the Intercontinental Championship going into No Mercy. We're going to talk about that today right here on Off the Script. Rumors of Bobby Roode's future on Smackdown Live. I also got news of WWE finally talking about adding a secondary title to NXT. And finally, how long is Big Cass gonna be out of WWE action? All this, plus a Pro Wrestling Crate unboxing, right here on the number 1 fucking podcast, right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's Harper off the script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. Man, oh man, is it good to be back right here on Off the Script, episode 184, part number 1 for your August 25th, 2017, starting your McGregor and Mayweather weekend off the right fucking way, bro. I'm still feeling the effects from SummerSlam weekend, man. I'm still feeling the high from SummerSlam weekend, from meeting AJ Styles, calling the House of Glory show, High Intensity 6 on Friday night, meeting Matt and Jeff Hardy on Saturday, doing the Solid Monster meet and greet at the King's Beer Hall on Saturday night, doing the Q&A with Wrestling Reality, Justin LaBar and Solid Monster on Sunday, SummerSlam at 205th on Sunday night, getting super kicked by Grimm in front of the Barclays Center while he put me in a sharpshooter afterwards, being broken up by the NYPD. It was fucking awesome, man. Absolutely fucking awesome. And in between all that, I met some of the best WWE YouTube content creators for WWE 2K, man. What a weekend it was. I actually can't wait for it to happen all over again. I had a blast, and it was fucking awesome. Friday, I had the opportunity, the lucky opportunity, to meet AJ Styles at the Barclays Center with a meet and greet that WWE was putting on. There was a bunch of meet and greets. Finn Balor, Sasha Banks, Bayley, I think it was Bayley. I think Alexa Bliss and Asuka were there. Shinsuke Nakamura, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, bunch of WWE superstars. There was different tiers, different times throughout the weekend. AJ Styles was on Friday, and I dressed in my House of Glory gear because I needed to call the House of Glory show on Friday night, High Intensity 6. It was their biggest show of the year. So I did the AJ Styles thing, headed right over to Queens. The one thing I want to mention is the humidity that was in New York City all SummerSlam weekend, and mixed with that and then taking the trains. My God. I don't know what it was all weekend, man. Nothing was air conditioned. Or at least if it was, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it at all, man. But everywhere you went, it was nothing but fucking pools of sweat. And my God, waiting in line with some of these fucking people to meet these WWE superstars, man. Now I understand why wrestling fans get the stigma of smelly basement-dwelling virgins. If you are a professional wrestling fan, it is okay to shower, bro. Really. It is okay to cleanse yourself. Good hygiene is key. My God. Some of these people, bro, I swear to God, it smelled like fermented cheese. As if they didn't shower in like 4 days. Well, I mean, what the fuck? You're in New York City, it's 85 degrees with a heat index of close to 100 with the fucking humidity, and you don't want to fucking shower? Come on, bro. Anyway, AJ Styles was phenomenal. No pun intended. I got the hat. One thing I want to mention about these WWE sanctioned meet and greets, man, it was in and out. It was in and out. Very well organized. Obviously, anything wrestling related doesn't get started on time. Never. But everything was very well organized. It was smooth. The check-in, the bag check, the wait in line wasn't even that bad. It was just a really, really pleasant experience. The only thing that I wanted a little bit more of was time with the WWE superstars, like AJ, and then obviously on Saturday with Matt and Jeff. I wanted to get a few words in with AJ. I wanted to tell him how much I appreciate what he's done so far with the WWE, how I hope that he really sits down with Vince and we get him staying on Smackdown, because I just have an odd feeling he's moving to Monday Night Raw if there is another shakeup. How I want Nakamura versus Styles for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 34. But I was dressed in my House of Glory gear, and I told him that I was the lead commentator for House of Glory and that the Amazing Red says hello, and we were talking about the House of Glory event, and he told me to say what's up to everybody over at House of Glory, and then he patted me on the back, telling me to have a good show. It was a really, really humbling experience just to meet AJ Styles, man. And he is a very, very, very pleasant person when you see him up close and in person. So everything that they said about him being a really, really nice guy to everybody, it was really great, man. And everything that they said about him is definitely true. Friday night, the House of Glory show was very good. Packed house. It was very exciting. Again, everywhere you went, it was a fucking sweat bath. I wish the NYC Arena was at least well air conditioned. I don't know why everywhere we went all weekend long was just fucking ridiculously hot. You know, if it's that hot, you got to compensate with air conditioning, man, really. But the House of Glory event, I'm so grateful for being a part of the House of Glory family. I'm so grateful that I got to experience such an amazing moment on Friday night with the Amazing Red winning the House of Glory Championship. And he beat Anthony Gangone in a very personal, in a very hard-hitting match. It was his first match back in close to 2 years. And just seeing that and all the coverage that House of Glory got on WWE's behalf, Sasha Banks, Samoa Joe even shouted out House of Glory. It was unbelievable, man, and I wanted to put my best foot forward, and hopefully it does come across in the weeks to come when you guys start seeing the show on their YouTube channel and on their Facebook page with the HOG Live. But it was so good to see everybody. It's so good to know that you are appreciated for what you do and your dedication to the sport of professional wrestling, man. I went up to the locker room after Amazing Red won the House of Glory Championship, and I wanted to thank him for bringing me aboard and making me a part of the family. And I wanted to congratulate him on a great match. It was a 15-minute, 20-minute fucking brawl, hard-hitting fucking affair between him and Anthony Gangone. And I shook Gangone's hand because I've seen him from December, since I've been with House of Glory, to now in August. The work that he's put in and the progress that I've seen on Gangone is amazing. Is amazing. He was good when I seen him in December. He is so good now in August, man. So good. To the point where I would not be surprised whatsoever if he gets a call from Triple H, come on into NXT and let's get you in the Performance Center. He's that damn good. But I shook his hand, and then I shook Red's hand, and I told him, Red, thank you for, the opportunity to be a part of the House of Glory family. And he looked at me, and he pointed at me, and he said, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing what you do. That was the whole fucking weekend for me right there, just to hear that from him. To know that he put in all that hard work and how hard he trains the students. That made my entire weekend, more so than anything. So I want to thank everybody over at House of Glory, and hopefully I can continue to get better and perfect my craft and continue building the House of Glory brand, like it should be, because they deserve a lot of recognition for all the hard work that goes into those events. The one downside, and I am always honest about everything on this show. I'm always honest about everything on this show. The one downside to the House of Glory events, and it's a little, it's just a minor thing. And I even say this about WWE events. I do. Fans that I invited to the show via Off the Script or Twitter or whatever social media outlet. I want to say I agree with everybody that came up to me and had the same sentiment as me. The shows are too long. SummerSlam was too long. I was down in Orlando for WrestleMania. The first thing out of my mouth, this show was too fucking long. It is excruciatingly long. Excruciatingly long. 4 hours is way too long for any wrestling event. This is why I love NXT so much. An hour, fantastic. I even think they could push it to an hour and a half, and I would be okay with that. Smackdown, I prefer the length, clearly, over Raw. I've been complaining for fucking years that Raw is too long at 3 hours. It is too long. I want it from 9 to 11. It's quality over quantity. Okay? It's quality over quantity. It doesn't need to be that long. And I say this about WrestleMania and SummerSlam. A lot of these guys in WWE don't really need to be on the show. There's no reason for a Big Cass versus Big Show match at SummerSlam. There's not. I'm sorry. There's not. Most of those matches on SummerSlam didn't even need to happen. I would go as far as to say John Cena and Baron Corbin didn't even need to happen at SummerSlam. Not everybody deserves to be on those events. If you are in nothing important, then you don't need to be there. It's long enough that they give us a 2-hour pre-show, and then we got 4 hours of SummerSlam. 6 hours of wrestling? Come on, man. So the one little gripe I have is every show that I see is too long. Raw is too long. WrestleMania and SummerSlam is too long. High Intensity 6 was too long. There was 9 matches on that show. I would have cut it down to 6 matches. You got to book the shows to the point where, it's quality over quantity. You tire everybody out. The crowd kind of loses its energy. You want to maintain that energy. Even with me, the fact that the show went on too long, we didn't get any intermission. They went right through the intermission. So my voice was shot. My voice is still feeling it. But that's the one thing I change about all professional wrestling. Not just what House of Glory did. Gotta change the length of the shows. Raw needs to go back to 2 hours. NXT should actually be up to 90 minutes. SmackDown is perfect at 2 hours. And some of these indie shows, they need to definitely be 2 hours, 2.5 hours tops. It's better for the superstar that they don't appear on every show. Not everybody needs to be on every show. Give everybody an opportunity. Book accordingly. If you don't see one superstar on one show, put them on the next show. It's like the Aleister Black situation. If Aleister Black, seriously, and I'm talking seriously here because I'm a fan and I love House of Glory. I love professional wrestling. If you put Aleister Black on every show with that entrance, with that theme, with his theatrics, if you put him on every NXT show every week, would you be interested in seeing him? No, I wouldn't. I would never do that to an Aleister Black. They didn't do it with Balor. They didn't do it with Joe. They didn't do it with Nakamura in NXT. What do they do on SmackDown Live? They started Nakamura off with promos. He missed a few weeks, and then he didn't actually have his first in-ring match until their upcoming pay-per-view, until the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania. And then after that, it was a snowball effect. WWE can't help themselves. They need him to be on every show. Now, why don't you think Nakamura is special anymore? Because he's there every single week. We see that entrance. We hear that theme. We hear the crowd singing along. We see the fucking, the theatrics and the charisma from Shinsuke Nakamura every week. It's not special to me anymore. And the same thing is going to happen with Bobby Roode. And that fucking kills me as a fan. I don't want to see Nakamura every week. I don't want to see Bobby Roode every week. I would never want to see Aleister Black every week. And these rosters on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, they're so stacked that there's no way you're going to get everybody on the show every single week. So WWE should be in rotation on SmackDown Live, where we see Nakamura one week and we don't see him the next. Even if he is in a world title program with Jinder Mahal. He doesn't need to be there every week. You got to keep some of these guys special. All because you got guys on a roster doesn't mean you got to put them on every fucking show. That's what makes a superstar special. That's what keeps the crowd lively. If you take a show that should really be 2 hours and extend it to 4.5 hours, dude, everybody's tired. Everybody's fucking looking at their watch, looking at their phones. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Seriously. That's my gripe about all professional wrestling. But that was the one downside to the show. That's it. Violet, Sonya Strong, unbelievable fucking match. Violet took a wicked bump through the table. Absolutely wicked. I even told her after the show, I am surprised you took that bump. She fell off the second turnbuckle backwards through a table onto a hardwood floor. She's like 105 pounds. This was not a Charlotte Sasha Banks situation. The table actually did break. So that was great. Cash Flow and Matt Travis looking like they're headed towards a feud camp. Cash Flow is looking like it's breaking apart at the seams because Cash Flow Ken Broadway wants one thing and one thing only. He wants to get back to the top of the mountain. So even if he has to go through his own people, he's going to get there, man. It's better off he's on his own, in my opinion, anyway. But Matthew Ryan Shapiro and the Trust, they had a tag team title match. His guys, the New York Wrecking Crew, had a tag team title match with the Super Savages. Super Savages are no more. Evander James and Brian XL had a hard-hitting match. Matt Riddle didn't make the show due to injury. I think he injured his ankle the night before, so they had to find a replacement for Stephan Bonnar, who was making his in-ring debut. The size of Stephan Bonnar in person was fucking amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. The guy is fucking massive. Absolutely massive. But obviously you could tell he's still green in the ring. He really needs to kind of tone it down a little bit. A few stiff shots in there, bro, that I felt like if, that was Matt Riddle, I think Matt Riddle would have been injured himself in that match. I feel like Bonner was a little too stiff. He was a little too green. He's got to slow the pace down. This is not MMA, bro. You don't got to go high intensity, literally all through the 5 minutes that were that match. Build the pace a little bit. Wrestling is storytelling. It's got layers to it. You got your bread, then you got your meat, and then you got your sauce, and then you got your fucking topping right there. The other half of the bread. It's like a fucking layered sandwich. Stephan Bonnar came out fucking 150 miles an hour. He didn't let up. But he was a very intimidating individual, to say the least. Matt Riddle didn't make it. I hope he's okay. I hope I get a chance to call one of his matches very, very soon, because I've been keeping an eye on him for the last couple of months. The King of Bros is definitely on my radar for someone that I really enjoy watching. So we'll see what happens with that. But House of Glory was fantastic Friday night. Saturday, we did the meet and greet with the Hardys, and then we went to Solid Monsters meet and greet at the King's Beer Hall. Another place that's not air-conditioned. I don't know why. The place is fucking massive. I don't know why. Beautiful beer selection. I even told Solid Monster, every time you have a meet and greet, whether it was at the Tin Roof in Orlando, King's Beer Hall, he picks the best bars with the best fucking beer food, man. My God. They had chicken and waffle chicken tenders. These things tasted like fucking funnel cake with chicken underneath. The breading was like of a funnel cake texture, and they gave you a little maple syrup to dip. It was unbelievable, bro. And then their fries were good, and their beer, they had a good beer selection, and it was just a very lively atmosphere. They had, you know, beer games and air hockey. They had Connect Four, this huge Connect Four fucking you know, board that we could play Connect Four with. It was really good, man. It was a really fun time. Sat with him. He was going to take over with a buddy of his, and it was just a really good time. After that, went home to watch TakeOver. Fell asleep during the tag team title match. Woke up on Sunday morning, watched it, did the review, headed right to Brooklyn again, and it was just SummerSlam festivities all day long, man. LeBar and Solid Monster again at 205th. Fantastic time. It was an absolute pleasure meeting everybody, man. I want to thank, and there's just too many fucking people to thank. It was just an amazing time. Everybody that bought me a drink, everybody that came up and shook my hand, everybody that wanted a fucking picture with me, you made me feel bigger than I really am, man. I'm like you guys. I'm a regular Joe who loves professional wrestling, and I want to thank everybody. Some of you came from fucking Philadelphia. Some of you came from over fucking seas. You were here in town for SummerSlam. You came from overseas, Europe, to fucking stop by, say what's up, and just tell me how much you love the show, man. I can't even begin to thank you for that, you know? And I want to thank LeBar, as always. I'm very fortunate to not only call him a colleague in what we do here, but more importantly, I had the opportunity to call him a friend. And I want to thank Justin LeBar for trusting me and bringing me aboard to help hype his Q&A for Wrestling Reality. If you guys don't know LeBar, iTunes, Wrestling Reality with Justin LeBar. Very easy to look up. One of the best minds you will hear when it comes to WWE talk. Obviously, I want to thank Solid Monster. He is one of the best at what he does, no question. You know, Rolling Stone, I believe, top 10 wrestling podcasts out of everybody that has a fucking wrestling podcast right now. You guys know him. He is such a down-to-earth, cool, fucking knowledgeable encyclopedia type of guy when it comes to wrestling, man. I always reference what he's going to say about something when I talk about something just to see where we are. He's amazing at what he does. I want to thank Drew from Ticket King. I want to thank the rest of LeBar's camp. They treated me well. They made sure I had a cold beverage in my hand every single time. I met with Drew and Justin and his camp afterwards. SummerSlam night after the event was over. We had some wild discussions, man, that I wish were recorded. But it was a fucking fantastic time, as always. It was amazing. I want to thank Grimm's Toy Show for super kicking me after SummerSlam. He put me in a sharpshooter as well. The sharpshooter attack was broken up by the NYPD. I want to thank Demon Diva for being a sweetheart, coming up and asking for a picture with me. I want to thank all the content creators that I met. I want to thank Tony Pizza Guy for being so fucking awesome and inviting me to his little 2K meetup at Dave & Buster's in Times Square. I want to thank Pulse, super fucking nice in person. I want to thank Tubby, super awesome in person. Big Red, Macho T, you know, everybody that came out to the 2K event. You guys were fucking absolutely super nice to me, and I appreciate everything, man. You guys were very hospitable, and I can't wait to meet all you guys, man. Hopefully I get invited to the 2K event next year, and we can party and continue that next year. But it was an amazing weekend, man. Raw was okay. Raw was good. I stayed home for Raw, stayed home for SmackDown. You know, regular business activities during the week, kind of resting. I slept most of the day on Wednesday because I just needed to recuperate. It was an unbelievable time, man. So I want to thank literally everybody for an amazing SummerSlam weekend. And if I missed anybody, I sincerely apologize. It was such a long weekend, man. Sometimes I just have to fucking sit back and think a little bit about what I actually did. It just went by like that. I was all over the place, man. I was constantly moving, barely any sleep. This is why I made such a big deal by getting so many videos out before the weekend, because I had zero time to do anything, man. But I want to thank everybody for making me feel so special and for making Off the Script a bigger deal than it really is, man. Thank you so much for everything. Follow me on Twitter, at JDFROMNY206. We are really, really close to 20,000 followers on Twitter. Make sure you guys are subscribed down below to the channel. Podcasts, WWE news, video game content for 2K18, Call of Duty stuff coming up, Destiny stuff coming up. We got World War II coming up, Destiny 2 coming up. So make sure you guys are subscribed for that. If you guys want to support the show, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. We got Off the Script. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript, audibletrial.com/offthescript. If you guys want 30 days free of Audible service with one free audiobook just for listening, that is only new subscribers only. So make sure you guys go and check that out. And make sure you guys follow the Twitch channel, man. JD from New York on Twitch. Big things coming. Live reactions for NXT. Live reactions for No Mercy. Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. Bunch of shit coming up. But all in all, thank you guys so very much for everything that you guys do right here on the channel. Before we get into the news and rumors, man, I want to do an unboxing because I got this during the week. There was no way for me to do it during the weekend rather, and it is a Pro Wrestling Crate unboxing, and this is, I believe, Heels. So this is a big fucking box. I'm wondering what is in here. I didn't look in here yet. But if you guys want to check out Pro Wrestling Crate, man, I am partnered with Pro Wrestling Tees. I'm an official partner with Barbershop Window. That's why you guys get the coupon code JD17 on Barbershop Window for all my merchandise. You're going to save 20% off. But you guys can also save 20% off on Pro Wrestling Crate by going to ProWrestlingCrate.com and then use the coupon code OFFTHESCRIPT. You're going to save 20% off your first subscription. So if you guys enjoy what you see in here, ProWrestlingTees.com, use the coupon code OFFTheScript, and then send them a tweet at PWCrate on Twitter. Use the hashtag OFFTheScript, tag me in it, and tell them where you heard about this right here on Off the Script with JD from NY. Gotta say, man, it's my favorite crate of all during the month. And look at this, another Pro Wrestling Crate exclusive. This is fucking awesome. I've been getting a lot of elite paraphernalia, man. Look at that. Beautiful pin. Omega, Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. Elite pin. I got so many fucking pins, I don't even know what to do with them, bro. I don't know what to do with them. What do we got? Ooh, oh. Let me tell you something. CM Punk is coming back to the WWE. He's about to cut a new pipe bomb. On Monday Night Raw, CM Punk is coming back to the WWE. Breaking news, CM Punk is coming back. Signed a 98-year deal extension on top of his original 167-year deal. CM Punk is coming back to the WWE. That's fucking awesome. Look at that, dude. Come on. Come on, man. If you guys don't go out and get this fucking crate with shit like this, come on. ProWrestlingCrate.com. Coupon code OFFTheScript. Punk Pipe Bomb. That is fucking beast. I have no words for that, bro. No fucking words for that. What do we got here? We got another one of these micro brawlers. Big Van Vader. He's going to be at the next House of Glory show on September 29th. Venue to be announced. What do we got here, man? What do we got here? This is Marty Scurll, another fucking Marty Scurll t-shirt. The Villain, that is fucking beautiful, man. Look at that. It's got the umbrella in the top hat. That is fucking beast. So far, this crate is fucking unbelievable. What do we got here, man? What do we got here? Ooh, look at this. Ted DiBiase, paid in full. Everybody's got a price. That is fucking great, man. I'm not too fond of the color, but it's Ted DiBiase. We'll live with it. One of the greatest of all time. Cheat sheet here. I don't want to look at that. Chew bubblegum and kick ass. It looks new. It looks like a pack of regular gum, but it's Roddy Piper gum. Ass-kicking, sugar-free bubblegum. There you go. I'm going to kick some ass later with this fucking podcast, and we're going to chew bubblegum. the Kevin Steen interview. This is a Talk Steen Talk, I guess, video. Look at that. Beautiful. Kevin Steen from his Ring of Honor days, a.k.a. Kevin Owens. Pretty cool stuff there, man. Pretty cool stuff. Oh, my God. I could always use one of these, man. Look at this. This is for display purposes only. I was going to say I could use an oven mitt, but it says caution for display purposes only. Use at your own risk. I'm not going to use it. I probably wouldn't use it anyway. But Latino heat, cooking with Latino heat. Yeah. Look at that, man. That's cool shit, man. That is cool fucking shit. And then we got the autographs. Who's in it? We got two. Let's see who they are, man. I don't want to look yet. Keep them down. Ooh. Papa Shango. Look at that there, man. Yeah. And who's the last one? I see it's bent in the corner a little bit, man. I don't like that. But hopefully all these go in frames soon enough anyway. This may be the biggest heel, especially lately, with his comments against Kenny Omega of all time, man. Jim Cornette. Look at that. Unbelievable, man. Jim Cornette. Signed autograph in Pro Wrestling Crate, man. Come on, bro. If you don't like this crate, I don't know what the fuck you're going to like, man. This was absolutely fucking epic this week. This month for this crate, man. ProWrestlingCrate.com. Use the coupon code OFFTheScript to save yourself 20% off exclusively right here on Off the Script. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Pro Wrestling Tees and Pro Wrestling Crate and Barbershop Window for hooking me up and just treating me like a special deal, man. You guys are fucking awesome. Everybody over there just takes care of me so well. So shout out to those guys. And thank you again, guys, for everything. We're going to get into a very, very entertaining episode of Off the Script. We got a lot of news to go over. So sit tight. Before anything, man, I am going to at least give you some broken brilliance from the wonderful, yes, Matt Hardy, right here on Off the Script.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Broken Matt Hardy. This is JD from New York. Actually, delete to JD from New York. I am Princess Vessel. Make sure to check out his wonderful show, Off the Script. It's absolutely delightful.
Man, I'm reading this story, man. I'm looking at the title for this fucking story, and all I can think about, I swear to God, man, all I can think about is Happy Gilmore. Remember the fucking scene where Shooter McGavin is trying to fucking putt, and there's a beach ball flying all over the place, and he's like, and he's just fucking getting so pissed, and then he putts, he finally nails the putt, and emphatically he does his shooter shit. He takes the fucking golf club and fucking smashes the beach ball around and it gets stuck on his club, man. I'm reading this story, and I'm thinking about Shooter McGavin and Happy Gilmore. What is it with WWE, bro? Do they want to really control everything, including the fucking fan interaction with the shows? I mean, seriously. I talked about this on Monday Night Raw Review. I did. This was the first thing I talked about. I agree. The beach ball incident that we seen at SummerSlam, if you guys recall, during the Raw Tag Team title match, Cesaro grabbed the beach ball from the front row and ripped it to shreds right there. You seen the anger on his face. It was not even hidden on his face. No hiding that. And then again on Monday Night Raw, during the main event. Can you blame them? After what we had to sit through for fucking 6 hours on Sunday, and then we got to be fucking diseased with Roman Reigns and John Cena on Monday Night Raw? Can you blame the fucking fans for not being interested in that main event? So, Cesaro ripped it up. John Cena's in the ring after the fucking match is over, when the cameras go off, explaining how he loves an interactive crowd. He loves a crowd that has fun. He loves a crowd that really brings it and makes it a memorable show. right? And everybody's arguing, oh, the beach ball incident, the fans are fucking ridiculous. These are people that ruin the shows. They should be ashamed of themselves. Road Dogg comes out and says he's totally, he totally feels disrespected by the fans for the bullshit. They even did it towards the Finn Balor match against Jason Jordan. Why, you don't think that we feel embarrassed, Road Dogg, that WWE is giving us a Jason Jordan storyline that's so goddamn fucking ridiculous? Right? We're supposed to be invested in a Jason Jordan storyline that's going nowhere, that we know is complete bullshit. We know that he's not Kurt Angle's son, right? But you want us to pay attention. Now, granted, I did, because I watched it home. It wasn't a bad match. Jordan hung, no homo, with Finn Balor, okay? But you can't blame the fans for not being interested, you goon. Come on, bro. If the fans feel like they're being shitted on, the fans will shit right back. Well, we're not allowed to voice our opinions? I said this on Monday. Yes, if I am a performer, I am upset. Because I'm in there risking my life, risking injury. You know, I'm feeling shunned. And it is what it is, right? You don't want that shit going on. You want the crowd to be invested and paying attention to what you're doing in the ring. You don't want them to be throwing around a fucking beach ball while I'm risking my fucking life in this ring. You know? Who knows what could happen? But, on the other hand, you can't blame the fans. You can't blame the fans. SummerSlam was bad. SummerSlam was bad. It was bad to a point that it was the third worst pay-per-view of the year. On Monday Night Raw seen John Cena and Roman Reigns teaming up. Nobody can stand Roman Reigns, right? People still shit all over John Cena. You put them together, what's gonna fucking happen? In a New York crowd? Come on, man. What do you expect? People don't want it. I mentioned that. I heard the rumors. It didn't get me excited about Cena and Reigns. And seeing them actually in the ring together, interacting, teaming together, it didn't get me any more excited. It actually decreased my excitement from an already low level. So if you're gonna blame the fans, you should look at yourself and blame your fucking shitty storytelling and your creative writing team. Nobody gave a fuck. That's why the beach ball came out. You didn't see beach balls on TakeOver. Why? Because everybody was invested in what was going on in that ring. Look at Gargano and Almas. Look at Ember Moon and Asuka. Look at the tag team title match. You didn't see no fucking beach balls being thrown around. Look at Aleister Black and Hideo Itami. Was there any beach balls thrown around? From my vantage point on television, I didn't see one fucking beach ball. And the security guards during that night on Saturday must have did a fantastic job if there was one. But you're not going to have beach balls thrown around during TakeOver because everybody is so fucking excited on a goddamn near fall from Johnny Gargano. People care about what's going on in the ring. On Sunday night, on Monday night, look at the matches that they were throwing the beach ball around in. Jason Jordan and Finn Balor, who gives a fuck? Roman Reigns and John Cena, who gives a shit? Of course the fans want to entertain themselves. They paid money. They should be able to do whatever the fuck they want and say whatever the fuck they want. Who the fuck is WWE to take away a beach ball away from the fans? You know? It's ridiculous. It's censorship. I fucking hate it. Beach balls are now banned from WWE events. Beach balls are now banned from WWE events following the incidents from SummerSlam and Monday Night Raw. Fans that were caught with the beach balls at SmackDown Live were told to get rid of them or risk being removed from the arena. Security was on alert at SmackDown and they were told by WWE not to allow any pool-related items, including beach balls that could distract from what's going on in the ring. Well, why are they distracted from what's going on in the ring? It's because they don't give a fuck about what's going on in the ring. Like I said, you didn't see beach balls at TakeOver. You know, you don't want me to bring a beach ball? Fine, I'll bring a fucking floaty device. I'll bring a fucking rubber ducky. I'll bring something else besides a beach ball. You know, WWE don't get it. The more you say, it's like a parent and child situation. The more you say, don't do it, the fans are gonna do it. Seriously. And this is WWE. WWE is being absolutely fucking hypocritical here. They're the ones that gave the beach ball a fucking segment on their 24 Raw after WrestleMania special. So now we can't bring beach balls to the event? Fuck out of here, man. Oh, they're afraid that it's going to distract them from what's going on in the ring. Put on something entertaining in the ring so we don't have to rely on laughing over a beach ball. Some fans were able to sneak in a few beach balls at SmackDown, but security was there to take them away. Now, as noted this week, there were wrestlers upset because the crowd hijacked the show at different times during the matches at Raw. Cesaro actually went into the crowd, like I mentioned, at Summerslam to rip up a beach ball. However, in a post-match promo after Raw, John Cena praised the crowd and encouraged them to continue having fun, and he criticized some of the Barclays security staff. This is censorship in a different kind of form. You're taking away something so innocent that, you know, you're saying to the fans, fuck you. Pay attention to what's going on in the ring, you know? WWE censors everything. If Roman Reigns is cursed at, booed, they alter the fucking fans and mute out the boos and pipe in cheers, right? It's bizarro world. It's bizarro world to WWE that, you know, a fucking crowd wants to have fun at one of their shows. God forbid, would you rather the fucking, Memphis, Tennessee crowd that sits on their fucking hands thinking about creamed corn? Is that what you want? Or do you want a lively New York crowd that actually brings atmosphere to the fucking show? I'm not saying the fans are absolutely innocent in this situation. I'm saying it's a two-way fucking street. Don't promote it on 24 and then take it away. Put on something good in the ring. Maybe beach balls won't even be a thought. Oh, let's take a beach ball to the fucking arena. It's ridiculous. You go to a fucking concert. Soon as the fucking main act goes on stage, you got the fucking scent of marijuana in the air. You see the security fucking chasing the guy down with flashlights? Ah, give me that. Give me that. Come on, man. You can't be censoring the fucking people like that. They're not going to want to come to your fucking shows. Good, you take the beach ball away from them. What's going to happen next year? It's going to happen all over again, and if you do, they're going to shit all over the show in another way. You take it away, they're going to be even more rebellious. Come on, man, it's a two-way fucking street. Look at yourselves in the fucking mirror. We feel our intelligence is insulted. You give us shit in the ring, we're going to shit right back at you, man. Beach balls banned from WWE events. They'll figure something else out. I'm sure there'll be something else that WWE takes away. Believe me. Moving on here, man. Bobby Roode's future on SmackDown Live. The glorious one has arrived on SmackDown Live. I give him 2 months until WWE fucks him up and makes him not special. Bobby Roode made his debut on SmackDown Live this week. Roode appeared as a surprise to interrupt Aiden English, the maestro of melody. What happened? Roode went on to defeat English and cut a promo after his match announcing his glorious arrival to SmackDown Live. There were rumors circulating about how Roode now is a member of the SmackDown main roster, what his future will be on the blue brand. Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet had an interesting comment on Twitter after Roode's debut. He says that he was told Roode would be a babyface on the main roster. Roode had been working as a heel during his time in NXT. Being that Roode faced off against Aiden English, a heel, it gives some credence to the idea that Roode will be a babyface moving forward. After NXT TakeOver Brooklyn #3, it was noted by Dave Meltzer that WWE is extremely high on Bobby Roode, and he will likely be pushed as a main event talent moving forward. It looks like some big plans are in store for Roode on his WWE main roster run. We're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out on Smackdown Live. I mentioned this on my Smackdown review. Link within the video, in the annotation. Go check it out if you missed it. Bobby Roode needs to be special. He doesn't need to be on every show. Hopefully they get it right this time, because they already fucking jammed Nakamura down our throats. They got it right for the first month. They had him appear every other week. He didn't make his in-ring debut until the pay-per-view against Dolph Ziggler, right? And then every week, tag team matches with AJ Styles, tag team main events with different partners. Every week. What happened to Nakamura? He was a special attraction. In NXT, we wouldn't see him for a week, maybe 2 weeks, max. He'd come back and just kind of, you know, have a match, or build towards the next TakeOver match, or build towards a feud that he's currently in. If you see that entrance every single fucking week, how special can it really be? You know? WWE wants him on the shows. I don't see Nakamura moving the needle. I don't see Nakamura moving the needle as far as ratings go on SmackDown Live. Why risk overexposing him and putting him on there every week? Do you know that it takes away from the overall appeal of Nakamura? I don't think these people grasp that. Same thing's going to happen to Bobby Roode. We didn't see Bobby Roode's entrance every fucking week on NXT. And when we did, we always did Glorious. I love doing Glorious when Bobby Roode comes out. If he's going to be on the show every fucking week, I'm not going to be doing Glorious every fucking week. I'm going to be like, oh, there you go. Now I'm going to have to change my ringtone because I'm fucking sick of hearing it every week. Come on. You can't be putting him on the show every week. Hopefully they understand that. I doubt it, because I have no faith in anything these fucking goons do anyway. They're not going to listen. So they're going to overexpose him. As far as him being a babyface, no. Bobby Roode is a heel. He is a manipulative fucking coward. He is a strategic evil heel. Always doing what is best for him. Fuck everybody else. Now, it was okay for whatever he said and whatever he did in New York City, because obviously he was going to be over. Everybody's a fucking babyface in New York City that's a heel. Because the WWE babyfaces are fucking lame. But Bobby Roode needs to be a heel. Matches with Nakamura, Styles, Orton. Do I even need to go on? Ty Dillinger, you could fucking do something with that. Sami Zayn. There's more upside to him being a heel going against those babyfaces than him being a babyface and going against the heels. Who's on there? Jinder Mahal. I mean, I would love Bobby Roode to be WWE champion, but as a heel. And a good babyface chasing the level of heel Bobby Roode can be. Kevin Owens? You know, I'm not going to fucking jump out of my seat for a Bobby Roode-Kevin Owens match with him being a babyface. You know? Baron Corbin? Snooze fest. Give me a break. Bobby Roode needs to be a heel on SmackDown Live. Hopefully, they revert back to that and they do what he did in NXT. And this was just a 1 week occurrence with him coming out in New York City. But Bobby Roode is heel through and through. I'm glad they put him on SmackDown. I'm glad that they gave you the reason that, listen, John Cena went to Monday Night Raw. He's doing whatever he's got to do over there. SmackDown had some free agent money laying around. They offered him big money. They signed him to the Blue Brand. Finally, we got some fucking reasoning as to why he came up from NXT after immediately losing the fucking NXT title. Good on them. Now all they need to do is make him a heel. But Bobby Roode, it was asked at the Q&A with LeBar and Solomon, if you had one guy on the main roster to choose from to start a wrestling company, who would you pick? LeBar picked Strowman, because he's a big Strowman guy. Solomon said the same thing that I was going to say, but he said AJ Styles, and he said AJ has nothing to do with it. AJ is the best in-ring performer in the world. AJ has absolutely nothing to do with it. So the fact that he picked AJ, I didn't want to pick AJ. I went with Bobby Roode. To me, Bobby Roode is the personification. He is the quintessential pro wrestler. He has everything. He's got the persona. He's got the charisma. He's got the music. He's got the entrance. He's got the everything. He's got everything. He's got the in-ring ability. Bobby Roode is perfect. So Bobby Roode needs to be a heel. He is easily a WWE title contender on SmackDown Live. Hopefully they have learned from their mistakes. I doubt it. But Bobby Roode honestly needs to be a heel, and he needs to pick up exactly where he left off in NXT. No questions asked. Akira Tozawa. His short reign as Cruiserweight Champion. Why did WWE give him the Cruiserweight Championship on Monday Night Raw? And why did they give it back to Neville at SummerSlam? It made no fucking sense to me. It absolutely made no sense to me. I heard a rumor that WWE was in the process of flipping titles back and forth because Vince McMahon is in hot potato mode. Whatever the fuck that means, that doesn't sound good at all. You know? How many hot potatoes are you going to be throwing around, Vince? Please. I hope you get yourself burned. Honestly. First title change of the night at SummerSlam happened on the Kickoff show in front of 0 people. Neville defeated Akira Tozawa to win back his Cruiserweight Championship. Tozawa won the title from Neville 6 days earlier on Monday Night Raw. Now, this was very confusing to fans after the match was over. Why would WWE have Tozawa win the title only to have him lose it a few days later? Ultimately stopping Neville's momentum that he's built as a Cruiserweight Champion. Here are some rumors floating around about the title change. According to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio, the original title change, Tozawa defeating Neville, was decided on Monday afternoon by Vince McMahon. Meltzer says the title change was only done for a surprise on television. The long-term plan was always Neville as champion. So WWE felt like a surprise was needed. Yeah, because people really give a shit about what the Cruiserweights are doing during Monday Night Raw. I don't think anybody would have even noticed if Neville retained the title. I don't think people noticed that Tozawa won the fucking title. And when he did, people groaned. People complained. So why is this being made on Monday afternoon, hours before you go live? It made no sense. It made 0 sense. So, would you have preferred Neville to not have lost the title at all? Or are you okay with the title change to prove that he isn't unbeatable? I didn't like that at all. The fact that Neville remained unbeatable as champion, that should have been a constant. There is nobody on that roster even close to Neville's ability. Nobody. When you do, find that guy. That's the guy to take the title off Neville. Not a hot potato title in someone like Tozawa who offers me nothing as far as a legitimate guy to beat Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. You mean to tell me somebody that's affiliated with Titus O'Neil is going to beat the Cruiserweight Champion? Neville? Who's looked dominant through everything he's done. Absolutely ridiculous. This is the perfect example of WWE's week-by-week booking. There is no long-term booking here in WWE. Hours before the show goes on the air, they decide, yeah, we're going to take the title off Neville. Meanwhile, the long-term plan was for Neville to just fucking beat everybody and remain champion. Now, if Neville won on Monday, then it would make the title match on Sunday pretty much non-existent. Because why would Akira Tozawa get another title shot if they're moving that match from Sunday to Monday? Why would he get another title shot if he lost on Monday? So I would have never even touched the match on Monday. I would have only had it on Sunday, and that would have been the blow-off. If you wanted a rematch on Tuesday for a title match on 205 Live, that nobody watches anyway, you could have done that, and then have that be the blow-off. But Neville should have never lost the title. Never. That's the mindset of Vince McMahon. Illogical, as always. There you go. First-hand proof that Vince McMahon is a fucking goon. The future of Luke Harper and Erick Rowan. What is going on with Erick Rowan and Luke Harper? I miss Luke Harper on Smackdown Live, man. What the fuck's going on with him? Luke Harper and Erick Rowan are two names that haven't been used on WWE television in several months. Many fans have been asking where they are and why they aren't being used. Ryan Satin had an interesting comment on the latest episode of The Sheet podcast, which shed some light on why we haven't seen these two since their match at Backlash against one another. Satin says that he has heard there could be some plans in place to repackage Luke Harper and Erick Rowan. This is the reason why they haven't been used on WWE television for a while. According to Satin, both of them could be getting a new look and attitude. The reason for this would be in order to distance them from any association with the Wyatt family. WWE fans know Harper and Rowan mostly from the Wyatt family, and they are in a weird spot right now because they have split from Bray Wyatt. Satin says that this isn't 100%, but it's something that he has heard. Something to certainly keep our eyes on over the next few months to see if they appear on SmackDown Live with a new gimmick. Now, if you guys remember, I reported several months back, around WrestleMania time, Rowan was using a clown gimmick at live events several months ago, so maybe it could be related to that in some way. Probably not, but maybe. Or maybe it will be something completely different. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens with these guys. Hopefully, at least Harper. I'm not a big fan of Erick Rowan. They were good together, but I'm not a big fan of Erick Rowan on his own. To me, Erick Rowan needs Luke Harper. Luke Harper is fine on his own. But I want to see Luke Harper back on SmackDown Live. They dropped the ball big time with Luke Harper. Fans were into him. Him being in a triple threat match with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania was clearly the best decision. Because what we got with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania was absolutely fucking garbage. Garbage! Luke Harper brought Randy Orton to his best match this year at the Elimination Chamber. Luke Harper being in that WrestleMania match would have added another element, and it actually would have made it obviously a much better match. It would have made it a great match. So I don't understand why they gave Luke Harper the opportunity and then quickly took it away from him. I don't understand that. I really don't get that. But the clown gimmick, I even mentioned that I heard somewhere that WWE signed Crazy Steve from Decay in XTNA. That they're bringing him on in. He was a crazy clown. Erick Rowan was doing the clown thing. Why couldn't Erick Rowan do the clown thing, bring in Crazy Steve? I even pitched the idea that you could package Erick Rowan and Crazy Steve together as a tag team. They could be the ones to attack Breezango. That was my pitched idea. But apparently they want to get Luke Harper and Erick Rowan back together. Which, I mean, if you're not going to push Luke Harper in a singles role, and right now it looks to be a little bit too crowded on SmackDown Live as far as that, they need tag teams. So using Luke Harper and Erick Rowan, if they want to repackage them as a tag team, will probably benefit not only them, but it will certainly benefit the tag team division. Tag team division, you know, if you add Harper and Rowan, and you repackage them on top of Breezango, the Usos, the New Day, now Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, the Hype Bros, you got the Ascension. I even pitched the idea on Tuesday's SmackDown Live review. People were telling me that there were rumors that AOP, the Authors of Pain, were going to debut on SmackDown Live. Now, how would you get the Authors of Pain on SmackDown Live? You just take the Ascension and you trade the Ascension for the Authors of Pain. The Authors of Pain will go to SmackDown Live. The Ascension will go back down to NXT. You could rebrand those guys, get them some momentum, maybe give them a feel-good fucking title run, get them feeling good again, and then you bring the Authors of Pain up to SmackDown Live. Even though I think they're not ready for it. But what else is there for them to do down in NXT? They had a more than serviceable title reign, right? They beat the Revival. They beat the team of DIY when they were together. What else is there? Heavy Machinery. What else is there for them to do? There's nothing. Now the only thing is, will they be with Paul Ellering? Because if they're on SmackDown Live, they're going to be touring 300 days a year. Does Paul Ellering want to tour 300 days a year with Authors of Pain? Or they will just use him for television primarily? I don't know. I don't know. Those are my ideas. But Harper and Rowan, if you package them together as a tag team, and you start rolling out these tag teams on SmackDown Live, you got yourself a fucking division. You got yourself a fucking division. Hopefully it works out. I'd love to see Luke Harper back on WWE television. Now, there are rumors going around about the WrestleMania 34 main event. And I don't want to dive too much into this, but I did mention this on Monday Night Raw. The way we seen things unfold in the main event on Raw, it was Cena and Reigns versus Miz and Samoa Joe. Fine. Now, Lesnar and Strowman was announced for No Mercy. I think that's a mistake. I would have saved Lesnar and Strowman for WrestleMania. That would have been ideal. That's just me. But it also, being that Reigns took the pinfall in the match at Summerslam in the Fatal 4-Way from Lesnar, it kind of got me thinking a little bit. You know, he was the only one in that match that was going to take the pinfall. Samoa Joe took a pinfall already from Brock Lesnar. You don't want to do it again, right? Lesnar certainly wasn't being pinned. You're not going to fucking pin Braun Strowman, right? So Reigns was the odd man out. So Strowman was made to look good in that Fatal 4-Way, so WWE was going to go with the hot hand. I would have gave it to Samoa Joe again. That's just me. I would have had Samoa Joe beat Brock Lesnar clean. But with this whole John Jones situation, which we'll discuss on Saturday's episode of Off the Script, he is now stripped of his title and ultimately done with the UFC because he's a fucking idiot. Probably the biggest failure in all of combat sports. And I don't feel sorry for him one bit. Because you gotta have something wrong with you up here if you're gonna fucking be nailed for the same thing you were just nailed for. So Lesnar pinned Reigns. We got Lesnar versus Strowman at No Mercy. Yes, I understand we need a big main event for No Mercy. It's at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Fine. WWE got what they want for a Raw branded exclusive pay-per-view. Roman Reigns looks to be out of the main event picture. Roman Reigns looks to be, in my eyes, it looks to be that he's headed towards a possible feud with The Miz. Now I'm hearing today that WWE might want to push Roman Reigns and John Cena up to No Mercy. Why? Why are you building No Mercy around 2 WrestleMania matches? That doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense to me. Lesnar and Strowman is enough to build that pay-per-view. You don't need to add Roman and John Cena to that. At all. I would have Cena face Joe, and then Reigns face Lesnar. Now, if that's the case, if Reigns and Miz, I'm sorry, did I say Reigns and Lesnar? Reigns and Miz. Joe and Cena, Reigns and Miz. If it's Reigns and Miz, there's no way that The Miz is retaining the title. And it goes back to reports that I did around WrestleMania that WWE is planning for Reigns to be Intercontinental Champion, take that title into WrestleMania 34, challenge Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, and make that main event that we already seen at 31, make that main event that, you know, we already seen interaction between them at SummerSlam where Lesnar pinned Reigns, make that main event a title for title match or champion versus champion. Whichever way they want to do it. I don't care what the fuck you do in that match. I don't want to see it at WrestleMania. Because it's too predictable. Now, Reigns being the Intercontinental Champion, maybe he could bring some prestige back to that title. Because The Miz is fantastic. He brought prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship on Smackdown. And I want to make this known to everybody. The Miz is doing all he can with Monday Night Raw. I mentioned something about taking the title off of The Miz because he's not really doing much with it on Monday Night Raw. It's not his fault. It really isn't his fault. He was given the opportunity on SmackDown Live. He and Dolph Ziggler had absolutely fantastic matches for that title. That's the reason why. He's not doing that on SmackDown. Raw hasn't booked him to do that at all. He hasn't been done. You know, he hasn't been treated right. To the point where he can do that on Monday Night Raw. So it's Monday Night Raw's fault. It's not The Miz's fault at all. But if you're going to take the title off The Miz in the next couple of months, Roman Reigns, I would not mind Roman Reigns holding a mid-card title. I would not mind that at all. At all. Now, the other rumor that I'm hearing is Miz versus Joe for the Intercontinental Championship. If they do Reigns-Cena, then it's going to be Miz-Joe. Because we've seen some interaction with The Miz and Samoa Joe on Monday Night Raw. I don't like that match at all. I don't like that match whatsoever. For a multitude of reasons. One, There's no way around it. It's a one-sided decision. Joe is winning the title. There's no way the Miz is going to cheat his way out of that. Give me a fucking break. Number 2, Miz is a heel. If he's going against Joe, does that make Joe babyface? Are they planning to turn Joe babyface? And why the fuck would you want to turn Joe babyface? I don't get that whatsoever. Joe is a heel. Joe has people chanting his name during the entrance. Okay? You're not really going to put Joe in a situation and have him be a full babyface. He's a tweener. He's in between. But I would not push him as a full-on babyface. I would have Joe Cena. That's what they were rumored to be doing with John Cena coming over from Smackdown anyway. So stick to the original plan. Do Reigns Miz. That was the original plan months ago. That was reported by a lot of different people. Reigns and Miz. So do that. I would rather have Reigns with the IC title, take it off the Miz, and then do Joe and Cena. Joe and Cena is something I'd like to see. I think the interaction between those guys over the next couple weeks could be fantastic. I don't give a fuck about Reigns and Cena. I don't, at all. But WWE has a very sticky situation here. Reigns and Cena is not going to be received well at all. You know, I don't know why you would want to do that at No Mercy when you're already building the show around Lesnar and Strowman, which to me is enough for someone to tune into that show. And I don't see why you wouldn't want to do John Cena versus Samoa Joe. I think that's the most intriguing match of those 4 guys. I don't want to see Miz versus Joe. Though I wouldn't mind seeing Joe with the Intercontinental Championship. WWE's got some thinking to do. But the WrestleMania main event on Monday Night Raw this week, John Cena and Roman Reigns went face-to-face in the middle of the ring. WWE's clearly planting seeds for a future match between the two. Also, Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman was announced for No Mercy. A match that many felt could be saved for WrestleMania. Right here, me included. The latest rumors on what WrestleMania 34's main event could be. According to Meltzer on the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, the current plan following SummerSlam now has gone back to Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34. It was supposed to happen at SummerSlam, but WWE decided to go with the Fatal 4-Way instead. As a result, Meltzer says right now the plan is for Lesnar versus Reigns to happen in New Orleans. Predictable! I'd much rather have that match happen before WrestleMania so we get something fresh for New Orleans. This would explain why they're doing Strowman and Brock right now instead of saving it for a bigger show. It would also make sense why they're planting seeds for Cena versus Reigns several months before WrestleMania. If Meltzer is spot on here, Reigns versus Cena could happen at one of the events prior to WrestleMania, because why else would they be planting seeds, and why would John Cena be on Monday Night Raw teaming with Roman Reigns? Plans change often in WWE, so take this with a grain of salt, especially if it's coming from Meltzer. As of right now, Vince McMahon is planning for a rematch of WrestleMania 31's main event as our main event for WrestleMania 34. I am not for that whatsoever. That makes it way too predictable. It's predictable now. Reigns is out of the title picture now. The more he is out, the more predictable it becomes. Seriously. Reigns, Cena at No Mercy, that's a WrestleMania match. Do I give a fuck about it? No, but it's a WrestleMania match. At No Mercy, you don't need it. Do the other things that you got to do. Make it interesting in other assets, in other facets. Do Reigns and Miz. Do Cena and Joe. And then Strowman, Lesnar. And then build from there. That's it. You know, Reigns could take offense to what the Miz stated about him. You know, we've seen Cena and the Miz already. Who the fuck wants to see that? I just don't get why you would book a massive main event, a must-see main event between Strowman and Lesnar, and then give away Cena and Reigns one time only. It's not like they're gonna have a fucking best of 3 series, best of 5 series. This is a one and done situation. This is like this generation's mega powers. Why would you give that away at a No Mercy pay-per-view in the middle of the fucking fall? I don't get it. It's ridiculous. But the way I do it is the way I laid it out for you. Reigns, Miz, Cena, Joe, Strowman, Lesnar. That's the way I do it. But right now, the WrestleMania 34 is overly predictable. Don't know why WWE wants to give us that. And To me, I think that's a big, big, big mistake. Condolences to Dana Brooke. I know we mentioned Dana Brooke a lot in a negative light on this show, on Off the Script. But this is a really, really serious and sad situation. Dana Brooke opens up this week about the passing of her boyfriend, Dallas McCarver. Dana Brooke's boyfriend, Dallas McCarver, sadly passed away on Tuesday, as reported by TMZ. He actually choked on his lunch or food and was found unconscious by a friend and then pronounced dead at the hospital. Really, really, really sad situation. Dallas was very well known in the bodybuilding community, and his death was a shock to a lot of people. Dana opened up about his passing in an emotional Instagram post. She launched a nonprofit called the Dallas McCarver Foundation in hopes to raise money for underprivileged children. So she says on her Facebook, or on her Instagram rather, and I quote, August 22nd, the Lord received another angel who happens to be my life, my Dallas, the one who only understood me. I can speak on the behalf of his family. The love and support you all are showing for him and us is overwhelming. Dallas would always tell me, just keep swimming. His little Thomas. I don't know. It was a hippo mixed with penguin. I don't know what the heck that was about. It was probably a little cutesy thing they did. He would tell everyone the same, just keep swimming. Keep moving through life and he will be your angel above. He had a way with making people laugh. Dallas was an exceptional bodybuilder, but I didn't see him for that. I saw him for him and his heart. He is the best individual I have ever met. My yin to my yang. Finished my sentences and knew what I was thinking before I'd say it. We had it all figured out. New WWE superstar, big country, and country strong mixed tag team. You were my life. You are my life. I still smell you and feel your presence. Never leave my side, like I have always asked. And you said no, never, Miss McCarver. I had your back and I knew you had mine. You're our angel. Stay tuned for a non-profit I have started, and as well as a memorial service, as details will be out soon. Hashtag RIP, hashtag my angel, my Dallas McCarver. So that was a pretty sad situation, man. I'm sorry to hear about that. My condolences go out to Dana Brooke and her family and Dallas McCarver's family. News to wake up to on Tuesday morning to find out that stuff. I know we joke around, and I know we're very opinionated on this show, but you know, most of it, you know, when we do it in good fun. I don't want to wish that type of thing on anybody, and my condolences and my thoughts and prayers go out to Dana Brooke and the family of Dallas McCarver, man. Very, very sad situation with his passing on Tuesday. And if I hear anything else regarding that, I will let you guys know right here on Off the Script. Moving on here, man. We got a few more stories before we get out of here for part one. As you guys know, Big Cass, Enzo, Big Show, none of us care about that shit. But what happened on Monday Night Raw is something that we all didn't want to have happen. And I feel like WWE is to blame here because this could have been avoided. We didn't need another Enzo Big Cass match. We didn't need none of this to happen. This probably wouldn't have even happened if they were still together. Now, Big Cass hurt himself. He went over the top rope, missing a big boot. He landed on his knee very awkwardly. You didn't see it initially while you were watching the match with Enzo on Raw, but back during the replay, you seen it was pretty fucked up. Nobody realized that he was hurt. He was limping. I thought he was selling an injury. He tried to go for an Empire elbow, and he just collapsed in the middle of the ring. Referee immediately threw up the X sign. Something was wrong. There was cursing. He was bleeping. He was being bleeped out by the production truck. Big Cass needed help and assistance to be carried away from the ringside area. We got news on Big Cass. He is undergoing surgery for a torn ACL. He will miss WrestleMania 34. That is a shitty fucking situation, man. News is not good for Big Cass. Suffered a big injury on Monday Night Raw. Cass has an ACL tear, and he will need to undergo surgery this week. I quote, "It looks like he has an ACL tear, possibly a medial meniscus tear, but we're going to wait for the radiologist to evaluate the MRI and give us their full report." This is coming from WWE ringside physician Dr. Chris Robinson, who told WWE.com. Unfortunately, the recovery timetable for an ACL injury is 9 months, which means he will likely miss WrestleMania, and all plans of his singles push are now on hold. Obviously, this timing is fucking horrible. And also, a reason why we've seen Enzo Amore show up on 205 Live. We've seen him show up on 205 Live as he confronted Neville after he won the Cruiserweight Championship back, or defended the Cruiserweight Championship, rather, against Akira Tozawa in a rematch in the main event. Enzo comes out. Not going to really make me watch 205 Live at all, but he's there. And I guess by the crowd reaction, they're going to really look to him to kind of build excitement around that brand. I don't really see Enzo being the one to take the title off of Neville. That's not really what I would plan at all, but being that Big Cass is now injured and he's going to be out for 9 months, there's nothing else for Enzo to do. Nothing. It was either 205 Live or NXT. They decided on 205 Live. A lot of people were talking about Enzo being a managerial or a manager, or having a managerial role of some sort. There's really nobody. You look up and down the roster for all three brands, there's not really anybody that he can manage. The only one that would have even made sense was Big Cass. But then you would have to turn Enzo heel for that to happen. Now, that's a risk I probably would have taken. You know, they could probably still be over as fuck, but a heel tag team? I don't know. But obviously you're not going to have that happen now. So Enzo's on 205 Live. Big Cass out for 9 months. He's going to miss WrestleMania, man. What a shitty situation for Big Cass. If I hear anything regarding his injury, I will let you guys know right here on Off the Script. Going back to The Miz, man. The Miz was very vocal about the darkness that he wrestled in front of at SummerSlam. Barclays Center didn't allow people into the building until after 5 o'clock. That's when the pre-show started. People were still filing into the seats. You maybe had a couple hundred people in their seats when the pre-show match was starting. Now, obviously, the Hardys poked fun at WWE for this blunder. The Miz, obviously very vocal on Monday Night Raw about it. Oh, this is what a full Barclays Center looks like. Oh, now I know. It was revealed shortly after the biggest party of the summer that the six-man tag team match that happened in front of nearly an empty arena was a big blunder on the WWE's behalf and the Barclays Center's behalf. The Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan were a part of this match, so the powers that be weren't intentionally booking anyone in front of an empty Barclays Center crowd. Unfortunately, the doors to the arena didn't open until 5 when the WWE began the kickoff show, so most fans were not in their seats. The people should have been let in at 4. Still, that's a long fucking time. You got to sit through all that and then up until 11 o'clock. That's a long fucking afternoon, man. But they should have been allowed in at 4 o'clock so that these guys were in front of an adequate crowd. Now, regardless of the reason, it's being reported that The Miz and many others in the match were furious to be performing in front of nearly an empty arena, despite WWE Summerslam being the second biggest pay-per-view event of the year. The Miz was also said to be the most upset, which is why he was given the microphone on Raw to vent some of his frustration out on WWE television. The Miz's promo was said to be mostly a shoot from the heart. That says a lot about WWE's trust in The Miz. That says a lot about The Miz's positioning in this company. Even though he might not be on the level of a Reigns or a Cena or guys like that, the fact that WWE is bestowing him with a microphone to go out there and do right, and they trust him enough to not really bury anybody, I mean, that's fucking unbelievable, man. That really is unbelievable. And the fact that he did what he did and said what he said, and everybody loved it, even adds to more of The Miz's character and why he's so great at what he does. He might not be the best in-ring guy. In fact, I even stated on my Monday Night Raw review, I think he looked like a fourth fucking wheel in that tag team match. You got him next to Joe, Reigns, and Cena, and you take a look at The Miz's style, he's the king of soft style. He's not really all that intimidating. And there's no way I'm going to believe The Miz to stand up to any one of those guys at all. But the fact that they gave him a microphone to do mostly a shoot, that was fucking fantastic, you know? And in front of that New York crowd, they ate it up. So there's no reason you could be angry at The Miz. None. This segment will lead to a tag team match between The Miz and Samoa Joe against Roman Reigns and John Cena. It is not clear if WWE officials are planning for the Intercontinental Champion to continue to use his time on the microphone to air his frustrations, but this week's promo was a look into how Miz really feels about his booking at SummerSlam and how his reign with the Intercontinental Championship has been. It's been trash. It has been trash. The feud with Ambrose has been trash. Then they put him in something with Jason Jordan. The best thing about his reign is how it's making and how the Miz's star power is making Axel and Bo Dallas look. That's the best thing about his IC title reign. The fact that they're standing behind the Miz, and with him on the microphone, he's making them look better. And he's the Intercontinental Champion, even though it might not have that much prestige. He's still the Intercontinental Champion regardless. That's why I said Monday Night Raw is doing a huge disrespectful job to The Miz. I would rather them take the title off The Miz and put it on someone that could build the title back up and make it a fighting championship. This is why before SummerSlam was even booked, I even mentioned putting a Rollins or a Balor against a Miz and have them be a champion. I think the Intercontinental Champion needs to be in the hands of a babyface, to be honest with you. And I'm going to stick to that. I think a Reigns as Intercontinental Champion would actually open him up into a lot of people's eyes. I think a babyface needs to be the IC champion. They need to bring that championship back to a fighting level, the everyday fighting man's championship. Because that's what the groundwork for the IC title has been. You know, it's just sitting on his shoulder and it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. It did something on Smackdown because they gave him the outlet to do that. They gave the IC title the spotlight against Dolph Ziggler. And the matches that we got out of it, especially that ladder match, fucking fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, there's been a lot of speculation surrounding the IC title especially, seeing how it wasn't even defended at SummerSlam. The Miz seems rather frustrated with his current position on the roster, and rightfully so. He keeps getting upstaged by everything from doors opening late to beach balls, and now he's a champion without a real challenger. It was reported by WWE. It was reported that WWE, I'm sorry, not by WWE, but it was reported WWE was going to move Jason Jordan over to feud with The Miz and try and capture the IC title, but apparently that program isn't doing very well because, if anything, Jason Jordan is not getting over the way WWE officials would have liked. He's got no fucking charisma. He's bland. That's why. So, although The Miz could defend the IC title against Double J, Jason Jordan, Dave Meltzer recently noted on the Wrestling Observer Radio this week that they'll likely have a match on television. It's being speculated at this point, The Miz's next big challenger for the IC title may be a very big challenger indeed. Samoa Joe is supposedly going to be moved into the slot to face The Miz for his favorite white accessory, the Intercontinental title. Meltzer noted how if Joe challenged for the IC title, then he'll probably end up winning it, which might not be the worst thing for the title if they want to make it look strong. Miz has done a great job as a heel champion, but Samoa Joe will likely be the one turning babyface for this feud if it does go down. I told you already, I don't like it. Joe needs to be a heel. Simple as that. I would rather them do The Miz and Reigns, and I don't like Reigns to begin with, but I would not mind him being the Intercontinental Champion, as long as they book him better than they did when he was U.S. Champion. Because he did nothing with that fucking title. At least with Reigns, we could start getting those big mid-card matches. Maybe Reigns and Joe. You know, maybe Reigns can drop it to Joe. Reigns and Balor, right? Maybe Reigns and Elias, right? Maybe Reigns and Elias. What a fucking coup in the cap, or feather in the cap of Elias if he beats Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, it's got to be on a babyface. It has to be on a babyface. Joe is a heel. I don't want to see Miz and Joe. That's a lopsided affair. That's a fucking demolition derby right there. And it's not gonna be looking good for the Miz. I'd say Miz and Reigns, give Miz and Reigns a competitive match. At least make the Miz look strong in defeat. Because against Joe, I don't see him standing toe-to-toe at all. It's going to be like Joe bending a fucking twig. I don't see it at all. Miz and Reigns is the best thing for No Mercy. If they want to do that. Joe and Cena. You got more doors opening for the IC title with Reigns as a babyface, and I use that loosely, than a heel holding the championship. I think it's time for the IC title to have a babyface champion. That's just me. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think about that, but The Miz was not afraid to air his grievances, and good. I'm glad WWE gave him the microphone. I'm glad he said what he said. He definitely went off the script. So, The Miz, again, opening people's eyes. Definitely the best promo, or one of the best promos in all of WWE. So I love it. They gave him the airwaves to fucking speak his grievances in New York City against Reigns and Cena. It came off very well, and we'll see what happens, man. Maybe they move him back to SmackDown Live with this shakeup that apparently is rumored to be happening this fall. I don't know. I think a move for The Miz over to SmackDown is a lot better. I don't know why they ever moved him over to Monday Night Raw. I don't understand it. I really don't get it. He didn't fit there. He didn't fit there. The first time they moved him to SmackDown, he raised his stock to the highest it's ever been in this company, even when he was WWE Champion. And then they move him back over to Raw. Why? Because SmackDown built him up as a fucking legit guy. So then Raw takes it, and then just like everything else, Raw makes everything look like shit. They take gold and turn it into fucking shit. Does Monday Night Raw. Just with everything. Just like with everything. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm saying Reigns, Miz, IC title at No Mercy. Finally, guys, we got this one last story. I know I mentioned this on my NXT reviews. We talked about it. We talked about it in depth. I think it needs to happen. There is talk of NXT adding a secondary title besides the NXT Heavyweight Championship. NXT is the impressive developmental territory for WWE. If you guys have been living under a rock, you would know that. And every 3 months, their TakeOver specials continue to impress everybody. Oftentimes, the TakeOver shows eclipse the main roster shows, which follows the very next day. But there seems to be an issue when it comes to providing an amazing talent on NXT with the chance to fight for a title. This subject was recently brought up on an episode of Wrestling Observer Live where Brian Alvarez had an interesting piece of information regarding NXT's current title situation. And I quote from Brian Alvarez, "I'm not saying this is a guarantee. I know they have talked about adding a secondary men's title to NXT." End quote. Brian Alvarez says, and again, I quote from Alvarez, "Maybe it would be a television title or something like that. They're rather old school in that sense. That this is not like Vince McMahon's Raw today where Neville loses on Monday and then wins on Sunday, hot potatoing the title. The New Day wins their title and then they lose it here. If NXT introduced a new title to the equation, then it might answer a lot of problems. After all, there is a lot of great talent that will never make their way up to the main event scene in NXT before their time comes to be called up to WWE's main roster. It would also give these guys amazing NXT talents something to fight for and one more chance to steal the show." You know, a lot of you guys thought maybe they could bring the United Kingdom Championship to NXT and make that a mid-card title. No. Now, they still got plans. Right now, they're just in the midst of budget cuts. They got plans to make that their own special. There's a reason why they sign a bunch of those guys for that program itself. Maybe an NXT television title. Maybe something else creative. I don't know. But when you guys are looking at NXT and you got Adam Cole now coming in, you got Drew McIntyre, you got Aleister Black, you got a bunch of fucking guys at the top of the scene. And then you got all those lower end guys. They got nothing to fight for. And you got to realize that NXT is a 1 hour show. Takeovers happen every 3 months. You need something else to fight for. Because if you're building one guy over 3 months, usually that's going to lead to a rematch. That's 6 months of the year that two guys are taking spots up in the main event scene for the NXT title. So you need something else to fight for. Like a Roddy Strong, a Velveteen Dream, a Cassius Ohno, a Hideo Itami, you know, a Johnny Gargano, an Almas. They need something to fight for. I think it would be fantastic. I think it would be absolutely fantastic if they added a secondary title, you know. And on top of that, I mentioned in the beginning of the show, I would add another 30 minutes to NXT. 90-minute NXT shows. And you know what? They need to go live. I think if NXT slowly starts making these changes, it would be fantastic for the brand. It would breathe new life into the brand. And new life is coming into NXT because you got Adam Cole coming in. You got this Ring of Honor stable. Lio Rush is coming in. Donovan Dijak is coming in. So the more guys they add, Another title is pretty much going to be needed. But I think it would be very, very, very welcomed if they add a title. I'm not one for adding titles. I think the main roster has too many titles. But NXT, with the amount of talent that's in NXT and the space that's occupied at the top of the card for so long, not leaving those other guys anything to fight for, I think would be beneficial for everybody. I think an NXT secondary title is needed. Let me know what you guys think about that. We discussed that. It's just amazing that now Brian Alvarez brought that to everybody's attention, that there has been talk about adding an NXT secondary title. Hopefully, by the end of this year into 2018, that comes to be true. And the fact that I know Bobby Roode, during the 2K event, he says that he would love to see NXT go live every single week. I think that would be fantastic. Go live, add a secondary title. There you go. I think those are the two biggest changes that need to come to NXT. And that is Off the Script, guys. Episode 184, part number 1 for this Friday. Thank you all so very much. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let's hit that thumbs up, man. Our goal today is 1,500 likes, 1,500 thumbs up, man. Thank you guys so very much. Make sure you check out all my beautiful sponsors on that layout. Go make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. Hit that bell for notification. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Pledge to the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Make sure you guys check out audibletrial.com/offthescript for your 30 days free and 1 free audiobook. Barbershop Window/offthescript for your t-shirts. Off the Script's very own online store. JD17 at checkout for 20% off. And ProWrestlingCrate.com, 20% off using code OFFTHESCRIPT. I am JD. Thank you guys so very much for everything. This is the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com for everything WWE. I will be back with part 2 on Saturday morning, where we're going to discuss John Jones being busted for steroids, and his match with Brock Lesnar in the UFC is now off the table. Plus so much more. I am JD. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all on Saturday morning.